I don't want you to imagine. I want you to know that here where your heart lives, there's a voice. It's a voice that doesn't speak very loudly. In fact, it actually just whispers. You can really choose whether or not you listen to this voice. But if you do, what it has to say makes everything in your life so much clearer. Just smile if you could get excited about some more clarity in your life. So imagine that this voice, know that this voice only tells the truth. It doesn't tell lies. It never ever changes its mind. It's your perfect guide. It knows exactly how to guide you to the ease, to the simplicity, to the fun, and to the success and abundance that you've been reaching for. Just nod your head if you think that this voice would be something worth listening to. The thing is, though, most adults find it incredibly hard to hear this voice over all the noise. The noise. Oh my God, those people are so positive. How can they be so positive? It's too risky. It's probably not for me. It's okay for her. She doesn't understand. She doesn't have kids. I don't have enough time. I can't talk on the stage. I don't earn as much as her. I should talk on the stage. I earn more than her. Raise your hand if you know exactly what I mean about the noise. Yeah. And for those of you who perhaps struggle to hear the voice, it sounds something like this. Yeah, it really is that simple. You've got this. You deserve the success and abundance that you want. You're worthy. Go for it. Raise your hand if your noise is a lot louder than your voice. And keep your hand raised if your noise is so loud. Sometimes it just sounds like this and it's just in your head nonstop and it's like, ah! Yeah. So what if? What if in the next 30, 60, 90 days, you could simply just choose the voice? And that by doing this, you are no longer distracted by the noise. And imagine that because of your choice, everything in your life was amplified. Your relationship with your lover, your lovers, your friends, other people in the company. Most importantly, your relationship with yourself. You felt truly in control in everything in your life. Just put your hand on your heart and just feel how easy it is to make this choice. And just say it with me. I choose the voice. My name is Peta Kelly, for those who don't know me, and a few years ago, my noise was so much louder than my voice, and I really couldn't tell the difference between the two. I was working really, really hard for my PhD, and I was living really what I thought was my dream. As my family knew, I was going to do my PhD as soon as I left school. I worked so hard at school, and I was always the nerd, and I knew I'd do my undergraduate degree, and then I'd graduate from that, and then I'd do my honors degree, and I'd graduate from that, and I did all of that. I worked so hard. I had my paper published in an international medicine and science and sport and exercise journal. I was going all the way. I had two of the most world-renowned professors in my field working with me on my research. Everything that I wanted, I felt like I was achieving. I was soon to have doctor in front of my name by the age of 25. The thing was, though, I couldn't really hear. There was this whisper that was trying to speak to me because my noise was so loud. Work harder, Peter, work harder, keep achieving, keep achieving. It's all about credentials and struggle, Peter. Keep going. I know that you don't feel good right now, but keep going, keep going. Work harder, Peter, work harder. This is it for someone your age. Just imagine your life after. Keep achieving, Peter. Just keep achieving. Keep going, keep going, keep going. And so I did. The voice was trying to whisper to me, Peter, It's not meant to feel like this. There's more. It's not about credentials and struggle, Peter. You can serve the world and have a much freer life. But I couldn't hear it because I was really attached to now what I know was the insanity of this noise. So the voice was trying to whisper to me and I couldn't hear it, so it tried to talk to me through these signs. The signs were, change the slide please. The signs were exhaustion, anxiety. I struggled to concentrate. I lost my passion. I felt myself daydreaming about traveling the world and retiring my mom with my family. It was the only way the voice could speak to me. Because the noise was so loud, it felt like I was carrying a boombox around on my shoulder. Work harder, Peter, work harder, this is it, work harder, this is it, keep going, keep achieving, I don't care if you're tired, keep going. And then one day the noise got so loud that the boombox just exploded. And it was silent. And it was like the voice had perfect access to me. And on that day, I walked into my supervisor's office, bawling my eyes out. This woman who had invested 6 years in me, and I was walking in there telling her that I was leaving. And I couldn't really tell her why. But all I knew was that I didn't feel full and I didn't feel free. From the outside looking in, you would have thought that I was living a pretty incredible life. According to the noise, I was. You know that quote? Sometimes all you need is 20 seconds of insane courage and something great will happen. That's what I had, 20 seconds of insane courage where I was listening to the voice, and something great did happen. I remember leaving the office that day. My family can probably remember, and I was bawling my eyes out. And I had these voices going on like, what the are you doing? And then, you got this. You just wait and see what's around the corner. The noise and the voice. And then something great did happen. I found isogenics. And now I'm so humbled to get to live a life that, like I said in the video, I couldn't even dream of if I tried. It's impossible. You couldn't. We talk about physical and financial freedom, but my favorite freedom that I have now is knowing the difference between the noise and the voice. That's the greatest freedom that I have now. So I stand here with what I feel is the ultimate freedom, and that's freedom of the heart. So there's a big gap in that story, right? I didn't go from noisy PhD student to over $1 million over here in a blink of an eye. Right? So I have something here. Ooh. I started on the Isogenics products in September 2011, and in August 2012 I had this bad boy, consultant. Who's a consultant in the room? Yeah. So some could say there was a big gap between when I got inspired and when I got into action. Who can relate to that gap? There was a huge gap between how I felt and how I wanted to feel. This is my favorite lanyard. I couldn't tell you where all the 7, 8, 9, 10 star ones are. This one is my favorite. So, my intention today is that all of you in the room don't have to have that gap between how you feel and how you want to feel, between when you get inspired and when you get into action. Raise your hand if you don't want to have that gap. So I was asked to do this piece today on belief. You can do it. That was my piece. You can do it. And I'm not going to stand here human to human and say, you can do it, guys, and be like, you can do it, because you're a human being and you already know you can do it. I'm not going to say that to you. You know that you can do it. When you go to sleep each night, your heart beats and it wakes you up without you even knowing. Right? You can do anything. So I'm not going to do that. You already know you can do this. My job is to figure out why some people do not. What's going to happen is you're all going to leave this event with a how, with a what, and definitely with a why. But why do some people still not do it? Nobody can look me in the eye and tell me that they can't make magic with this opportunity. Nobody can look me in the eye and tell me that they can't make magic with this opportunity. So here's what I know. You're going to leave here with every single thing you need to make magic with this opportunity. You're going to leave here with a what, you're going to leave here with a how, and you're going to leave here with a why. But there's a missing piece to this puzzle. It's the do. And people think that sounds so silly. It's like, what do you mean it's the do? We're all going to do it. Some people don't. Would you agree that some people leave this event and don't get into the action that they want to get in? Change the slide, please. I know you can do it. You know you can do it. How do I know that? Raise your hand if you've ever had a job or learned a skill. Yeah. Raise your hand if you've never learned anything new. So this is what happens. In network marketing, we come into this, and if we were going to go apply for a job, and I told you that your job description was, and you were going to get paid $50,000 a year, right? So $50,000 a year is going to be your income for the year. And I told you that your job description was make a list, present those people with a tool, enroll the people who are interested, and then follow up with a system. Do you think you could do that for $50,000 a year? Raise your hand if you'd have any issues doing that. So some of you would actually have issues doing that. You wouldn't. So here's what happens when we come into Isogenics. We are so safe knowing that there's a cap on our income. And then we come into Isogenics and it's a world of infinite possibilities. And the cap's lifted and we pull our pants. Because there's noise that's associated with infinite possibilities. There's noise that's associated with abundance. Would you agree? Being safe and playing safe and having a capped income there's no noise with that. The world doesn't oppose that. There's not really a contrast. It's safe and it's easy and there's no noise, right? So then when Isogenics says, okay, do those things and we're going to lift the cap and now it's the world of infinite possibilities, we shit our pants. But here's what you have to get used to. You have to get used to the world of infinite possibilities because that's what we are in Isogenics. It's the world of infinite possibilities. So you've got to get used to the noise. So I'm going to introduce my buddy, the noise. Raise your hand if you know what your noise sounds like. I do. I'm best friends with mine. Here's why. Because it serves a purpose. You're probably wondering, Peter, how do I get rid of the noise? I don't want the noise. If only I didn't have the noise, then I would fly, right? You never get rid of the noise. The noise is essential. And I always say, and if we didn't have the noise, we'd all just be running around like, oh my God, everything's possible, woo, $1 million, $100 million, woo. And it would just be like this crazy fairy world. We are on Earth. We are on Earth. We need the noise to keep us balanced and grounded. We need, you know, it is our grounder, it's our balancer, but it's also our tester. Are you ready for more? Are you ready for more? If you can't handle a little bit of noise, you're not ready for more. If you can't handle the noise at 10,000, you're not going to get 20. If you can't handle the noise at 20, you're not going to get 100. If you can't handle the noise at 100, you are never going to get to 1 million. So my job is not to tell you you can do it. My job is to help you leave here knowing that you can breathe out. You don't have to get rid of the noise. You just have to be aware of it. Okay? My favorite thing about the noise is that it gives us the opportunity to choose. Every time the noise is there, it gives us the opportunity to choose what? The voice. Just say it with me again, I choose the voice. The noise is a beautiful thing when you can understand it. The noise is your gateway to more strength. The noise is your gateway to more success. The noise is your gateway to more income. So who's ready to go dive deep down into the noise? So, I'm going to just go through a few noises that I've experienced on my journey, and I hope you sort of can relate to them. So the first one is expectations and attachments. So when we come into Isogenics, would you agree that everybody has an attachment to something? Network marketing is this. Abundance is this. Abundance isn't for me, that's greedy. Positive people, I don't like hugging. Network marketing is one of those things. I can't do it, I don't have enough time. The voice sounds like that too, it's annoying. right? Who would agree? Who came into this business with hang-ups about network marketing? Yeah. Who still has hang-ups? Who still has noise that they're listening to a lot? How much is that costing you? My mentor made me write that question down when I was 1 star. How much is this noise costing you? And I think I wrote down $50,000. It took a couple of months for me to earn that when I realized what I was doing. So I didn't have the noise about network marketing because I'm young and we don't have baggage, right? I had the noise of, can I really do it? What are people in Perth going to think of me? Because I grew up in Perth, and as Perth people know, it is like people will either love something or they will post about it on Facebook and not love it. And there's not really anything in between. So you have to be really brave to be a network marketer in Perth. Who lives in Perth and can agree with me? And I'm not kidding, but we've done it now. Tipping point. That was what my noise was. Can you really do it, Peter? There's no one else that's young really doing it. I don't know if you can. I don't even really know what it is. That was what was my break. That noise was my break. It was like that on my road to success. Psst. So I want you to think about what your noise is right now. That's your break to the next success if you're brand new. Might be about network marketing, might be about something else, I'm not sure. You know, it was so funny because when I was asked to do this piece and I knew that I was going to do it on the noise, I started going to yoga every single day, and that's where my biggest noise comes up. And I can relate yoga to every single one of these noises. So what happened when I started, who does yoga? Who doesn't? And there's probably a reason why you don't do it, and it's noise, right? So I thought, I'm not that bendy. I don't need to do it. I'd just rather get shredded. Right? And there was all these things that were like my break, stopping me from beginning yoga. Yoga is one of the best things that's ever happened to me. Right? So what we need to get good at is recognizing the noise and being aware of it, but just simply choosing the voice. So say it with me, I choose the voice. So the beginning of my network marketing journey was when I started to learn the difference between the noise and the voice. And my voice was saying to me, Peter, someone has to do it. There is so much more courageousness in risk. There is no courageousness in safety. Take the leap. Do it. What have you got to lose? The riskiest thing you can ever do is be unhappy. I've got you. When nothing is sure, everything is possible. And that noise was pulling me, closer and closer and closer to the truth. And here's what you need to know about the truth. It never changes. Just as Jim said, the truth doesn't change. That which is real doesn't change. The truth never changes. So I arrived at the truth. You can do anything, Peter, but you already knew that. Awesome. Moving on to the next noise, because it doesn't stop, right? Overwhelm. Raise your hands if you ever feel overwhelmed. So, overwhelm has been my biggest noise ever. I have a really busy head. It has been my biggest noise ever. And I really find that overwhelm, again, it's our tester. It's our balance. It's our, are you really, really ready? And I find that when we are present, we cannot be overwhelmed. Overwhelm is really either holding us in the past or holding us in the future. When we are present, everything is so clear. Everything is so available to us. And in isogenics, here's what happens, and this is what you all need to know. The process and the why, the how, and the what will never ever get any harder than what it is right now, because the truth never changes and what's real never changes. It's never, ever, ever going to get hard. But we have some people going like this, we have some people going like this, and we have some people going like this. Because some people are so caught up in the noise and some people are not. Some people are so caught up in the overwhelm and some people are just present with the process. Does it make sense? The process is so simple. It's one foot in front of the other. And we get so caught up in the noise, it pulls us out of that simple process and into overwhelm. And we just stop. Oh my God, I have so many three-way courses. I have too many events to go to. Oh my God. And what we're really doing when we're overwhelmed is we're getting so caught up in the outcome. We are scared of the outcome. We see these people earning millions of dollars and we look at that and that freaks us out. Would you agree? And in the meantime, we're taking our eyes off the step. One foot in front of the other, one foot in front of the other, because we're so busy just, oh my God, here we go. Oh, this is so nervous. That person earns $1 million. I can never earn $1 million. And we're just caught in that noise. Overwhelm is my loudest noise. It tricks me into thinking that things are hard when they're not. It tricks me into thinking things are complicated when they're so simple. It tricks me into thinking I can't when I can. Who can relate to that? So my voice, when I'm overwhelmed, when I hear my noise and I see it, cool, thanks for coming, but I choose the voice, is saying to me, don't let the infinite possibility distract you from the simple process right now. Yes, everything is possible, but that shouldn't be scary. One foot in front of the other now. Stay present with what you're doing. Everything is coming. And again, I relate this to yoga. I get so overwhelmed at this girl in my class who can do the crow and I can't do it. And I'm so distracted by the end result. I'm so overwhelmed by the fact that, oh my God, I'm going to have to end up doing this one-handed shoulder thing and wrap my leg around my head. It just distracts me from going to yoga and just doing the yoga class and then going again and doing the next yoga class. And it's the same in network marketing. You get so focused on the stars and all this stuff that it just stops you from going like this. Right? Don't let the infinite possibility distract you from the simple process. The voice always leads you to the truth. You can do anything, but you already knew that. I'm not going to change my mind. Voice is not going to change my mind. You can do anything, you already knew that. Right? So voice number 3, other people's noise. Jim spoke about it before. If I had 65 hours on stage right now, I could tell you all the other noise that I cop. Right? Jackson's looking at me right now with his I Love Haters hat on. If you want to do anything good in your life, get over the fact that there's going to be noise. Get over it. Okay, seriously. People go, oh my God, my friend shared that article. Oh my God, did you hear what this person said? Oh my God, a current affair. Who cares? We don't want to enroll anyone who watches a current affair anyway, right? They probably will. You have got to get over other people's noise. You've got to get over this. You've got to get over this. I'm serious. Oh my God, but this person said this. Oh my God, this person said this. Who can relate to that? Facebook status, get over it. It's going to happen. It's going to happen when you're one star. It's going to happen when you start Isagenix. It's going to happen when you're a millionaire. Mine is probably the loudest now. Right? People say, I don't know how anyone could ever not love what you do. Of course people aren't going to love what you do. It's the contrast of life. It's the contrast of life. Could you imagine if everyone was just, yeah? Like that's what happens over in the other world, but we're on earth here. Let's be real. Let's be real. You're always going to have contrast. Right? You need the contrast. Other people's noise is basically your opportunity to choose your next level. Other people's noise is your opportunity to choose the voice. It could be coming from your family, it could be coming from your friends, it could be coming from Facebook, it could be coming from the media, which I love because it means that we're doing something fantastic. It could be coming from anywhere. It's just an opportunity for you to choose the voice. My voice is always Steve Jobs, always. Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't be trapped by dogma as a result of other people's thinking. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. Which one feels better to listen to? What are you doing? That's a scam. Oh my God, I'm going to share this article. What are those ingredients? That or Steve Jobs? All the time while you're listening to other people's noise, essentially you're doing this around your success and around your possibility. Yeah, okay, thanks for sucking money out of my bank account. I love your opinions. They're doing so much for me. right? You're always going to have noise. You need to know that now. Don't expect that people are going to hate on what you do, because guess what? If you do, they will. But what we are doing in the world is so required. What you are doing in the world is so required. Physically and financially, yes, that's one thing, but consciously is a whole other. What we are doing is providing a safe place for people to be themselves. What we are doing is, especially in the Start movement, is creating a movement of young, conscious individuals who are living from the heart, who are contributing to the world. Do you not think that is going to cause some opposition in a world which doesn't really get it yet? Are you going to be distracted by that, or are you going to do it because of that? It is your opportunity to choose. This is another one that I always hear. Frederick. Those who were seen dancing were thought to be insane by those who could not hear the music. Right? I can think of so many people right now in my life who I think are crazy for doing things that I don't understand. Love them anyway. You're going to have people who don't understand. Do you honestly think that in a world as big as ours, that we're really going to have everybody operating on the same space, in the same space? How naive of us to ever think that that would be a reality, and how naive of us to ever want that. Right? We require this noise. We require this noise because it's our gateway. It's our opportunity to choose. You need to embrace it, and you need to love people where they're at. If you're having opposition from your family, if you have opposition from people you love, if you're having opposition from people you don't even know, if we're like in Australia, we're having opposition from everywhere because we're just kicking ass, that is good. It's a good thing. And I'm guaranteeing you now, the more successful you get, the more expansive you get, the more you are living in that place where our whole world is evolving to, but so many are not yet, the noise is going to be louder. But you are not going to get there until you can show that you can handle this noise, and then this noise, and then this noise. You won't. So the truth, you can do anything, but you already knew that. That's funny, the truth just doesn't change. It's the same all the time. So moving on. Noise number 4. I think this is probably the loudest for everyone. Comparison. Who's ever compared themselves to anyone? Do you know that's the most impossible thing to do? It's like comparison is like a rocking horse. It takes up all your time and energy and gets you nowhere. Right? It's like, cool, oh my God, what's that person's doing? I said, they don't have any kids. I'm just going to compare myself to them. Oh my God, they're like 25 star now and I'm not. Oh my God, I'm just going to sit still because of that. Right? I remember when I was comparing at my very worst was when I was 1 star in Hawaii, and Lisa DeMayo was there. And I remember I sat across from her, and I was 1 star. This was January 2013, and I said to her, Lisa, I am on the inside of an inside leg. There are people who are doing nowhere near as much work as me, and they are cycling all these times. I am cycling like 9 times a week, and I'm enrolling like a machine. I don't have this power leg. What is that? How am I ever going to do it in Perth when I am literally enrolling 9 people on a body balance program to get 1 cycle? How on earth am I going to do it when these people are just like enrolling 1 cycle, all this is power leg, which I'm, by the way, so grateful I don't have because I don't like them. But she looked at me and she said, with a swear word in there, "Are you crazy? I am on the inside of an inside leg. So is Susan." And she listed all these people. So is David and Irene. "Are you crazy?" And I said to her, "Do you think I could ever be a 4 star?" I remember. And again, she repeated herself because she's from New Jersey and she loves to swear. "Are you crazy, Peter? Of course you can. There is no one in the world that you can compare yourself to. Just run your own race and run it now." And then by the end of that year, I was 7 star because of those words, because she really got it into me that it is impossible for any of us to compare to anyone else in this room. It's literally impossible. You have no idea of the space that any one person is operating from. You have no idea where they are consciously. You have no idea what is driving them. You have no idea what is going on in their life. You have no idea. Comparison is sucking money out of your bank account like a hose. You have got to fall in love with your own reality, and you've got to compare it to your own reality. You know how crazy it is in Isogenics? We have people who are 3-star, who are earning $2,000 a week residual income, which is double what most people in the world, or most people in Australia earn. They're earning that residually, and they feel poor. And they feel like they're not achieving because they're comparing themselves to the people who are earning over $1 million. Is that crazy? It's, again, you're letting the infinite possibility distract you from the beautiful reality and the simplicity of this. 3-star golden circle is wealthy. It's wealthy. You need to be comparing yourself to your own reality yesterday. Your main comparison should only be, how do I feel versus how would I like to feel? That's the only comparison you need to nail. It would be hard for me to compare myself to any of these people. I have no idea. I know them, but I have no idea really what it is to be them, what drives them, what skills they've learned, what they know, what's going on. I have no idea. It's impossible, and it's a waste of my time. Doesn't it feel good to just be able to breathe out and be like, oh my God, I don't have to compare myself to anyone. The voice always says to me in this instance, Peter, aren't you so lucky that you have so many incredible, inspiring people to be inspired by? You know, so many people in this world don't actually have all of this to be inspired by, and we do. And then you know what? That's so like the voice, and we turn it into the noise. Oh my God, that person is 10-star, not going to move. Can you see how tricky it starts to get with the voice and the noise? The voice and the noise, the ego and love, furfies and the truth. So here we are in a room of 6,000 people who are all so inspiring. We can take so much incredible fuel and so much incredible drive from them. And most of the time we get bogged down in comparing ourselves to them in a negative way. Is that noise or what? That is a trick. A really crafty one. Don't buy into that, guys. Don't buy into that. If you were cycling one time a week, that is $54 residual income. That is huge. Huge. If you were cycling $500 a week, if you were cycling 10 times a week, that's $500 a week residual income. That is massive. The fact that we are able to earn 6 or 7 figures residual should not distract you. It should not put you off. But as humans, infinite possibility does. Abundance does. It distracts us because we are so not used to it. We want to play it safe. And the noise gets louder and louder. And the only people who ever do have the abundance and the success and that infinite possibility and that expansion and that flow and that ease are the people who can identify what's the noise that is BSing us and what's the truth. All of these people who earn the most money are the ones who are the best able to distinguish between what is real and what is testing them. And that is the ultimate freedom. We talk about physical freedom, we talk about financial freedom, but that is the ultimate freedom. Because if you can understand that, what is the voice and what is the noise, there is nothing you can't do. I wish you could see how I see what humans are actually capable of. Network marketing, it's a huge thing, but it is like 1 trillion, thousandth, million, 100 gazillionth of what is possible for you as a human being. As I said before, you go to bed every night and your heart beats without you even knowing. And then it wakes you up. You don't even have to think about it. The world wants you to be successful. The evidence is all around us. All we have to do is listen to the right guide and not get frustrated by the one which is challenging us, and rightly so. Because you've got to earn the next phase of abundance. You've got to earn the next phase of expansion. You've got to earn the next phase of flow. You've got to earn the next phase of ease. And it's not hard to do. Sometimes all it takes is this. So I've made it pretty clear, but real freedom begins when comparison ends. That's real freedom. You can have physical and financial freedom and be the most unfree person ever because you're still comparing. You're still comparing. You're still overwhelmed. You're still attached. That's not freedom. It's not. What's the point? Real freedom is going to bed with a peaceful heart, knowing that nothing is going to get in your way. That everything is possible. Is it making sense? Because some people are like, and some people are like, you just have to nod. So the voice again, when you listen to it, it just takes us right back to the you can do anything, but you already knew that. You already knew that. You already knew that, guys. It's just a switch from listening to this to listening to this. So here's my favorite noise. The noise which is so loud for me right now. The noise of success, the noise of abundance, the noise of joy, and the noise of ease. My noise has never been louder than it is now. Why? Because the levels that I want to go to in my heart and in my life are so high that I need to get there by showing that I can. You know, every single time I get ready to come on stage, my noise is so loud. You should have heard my noise this week. Poor Eric. What are people going to think? Is this getting too easy for me? Do I trust myself too much now? Is that wrong? So loud. You know, it is like so loud, it's almost like, it's just such a trick. And here's what I want to say, especially to the leaders. You know, our noise can be so tricky sometimes. It disguises itself as the voice. Sometimes it really is hard to know which is the ego and which is love. And here's what I know. The voice only speaks from a place of service for everyone. So if you are struggling to know which is the voice and which is your ego, which is the noise, it is what is the best for the world. If you think it's the voice and it's something that is going to take anything away from another human being, it's not. It's the noise and it's the ego. The voice will only guide you to expansion, abundance, joy, and love for everyone. And this is what the top leaders need to know. Because I know that where we are now, we are in a place of so much love and expansion and freedom and abundance and success. And the noise is going to try and trick us. And we have to know that there is an element of really, really, really understanding that the voice isn't just speaking for what is best for us. Our voice is speaking for what is best for all of us. So if you ever get confused, what is the noise and what is the voice, you can just stop and close your eyes and have a think about that. And you will always be led to the truth. It's so funny, you know. My noise comes up, and just being completely transparent, in the most crazy ways, and it does confuse itself as the voice. For instance, I really struggle with crowds. I really do. I'm extremely introverted, and I recharge being on my own. And my noise is so loud when I go through the crowds, and that's noise. Because what my voice is saying to me, Peter, is you chose this. You can serve, and you can be so present with everyone. You don't need to be on your own right now. And that is like the biggest trick for me. And that is what challenges me. Part of the success, right? And that's being really, really transparent with you. Is I feel like, oh my God, I just need to be on my own, I'm not good in crowds, Yes, I am freaking good in crowds. I am fine in crowds. I've chosen to serve. I can be present with everyone. But my noise is tricky, and it's only going to get trickier. But it's okay, because all we need to do is be aware. and choose the voice, right? Guys, I just really want you to get this. The noise is never going to go away, and we don't want it to. Could you imagine the bunch of fairies we would be if it was... Oh my God, $1 gazillion, who cares, no big deal. Oh my God, love, light, freedom. Yeah, perfect world, but it's Earth. Sometimes I feel like, Earth is so weird, but we have to deal with that, okay? The noise is essential. And the sooner we can just appreciate it and accept it and understand that it is our balancer, it is our tester, it is our guide, it is our tension. It's the necessary tension we need to grow. It's the necessary tension we need to be able to choose. Just like in yoga. I remember the other day, because I've just been like, when you're doing a piece, everything in your whole life like tells you something about your piece. In yoga the other day, we're getting ready, and she goes, make your journey in whatever way you want to, back to downward dog. And I was like, oh my God. And it is just like here. You all know you are going to get to what you want. You know that, right? You wouldn't be here if you didn't know. But how? How do you want to get there? Do you want to get there in this constant battle and this constant struggle between the noise and the voice? Or do you just want to get there with this complete freedom in your heart of just knowing that there's a voice, knowing that it's always leading you to the beautiful, beautiful truth that does not ever change, that everything is available to you. Everything is available to you. Everything. More than all of it, everything is available to you. There is nothing that's not available to you on earth. Not a thing. Not a feeling, not an amount of money, not a body, nothing. But there has to be a way for us as each human to be able to have that. And the voice is always going to lead us there. It is always going to be whispering to you. I did not want to add into my piece, how do you listen to the voice? Because you are a human, a divinely guided human, and you already know. You already know. I'm not going to bang on about meditation. That's not right for this piece, but you already know. Sometimes listening to the voice can be as simple as just noticing the noise, because it's going to come and it's going to keep coming. And congratulations if it gets really loud, because that means that you are about to enter a whole new phase, right? So it's so funny, like every time that I just stop and I'm like, oh my God, overwhelmed, what are people going to think of me? Maybe it's getting too easy for me now. That's the one for me now. Maybe things are too easy. Maybe I should struggle a bit more. Oh my God. It's like you want ease and you get to ease and it's like, it's too easy. That's mine now. It's too easy. I called up my mentor the other day and I said, I feel like it's too easy. I feel like I'm like jipping the world now. And she said, isn't that interesting? That's happening the week before your piece. I was like, stop being so profound all the time. But I'm always led back to this. You already know what I'm going to say. The truth never changes, never has, never will. Everything is available to you. Everything is possible. Everything is infinite. It is all. That is all the truth. And the truth never, ever, ever will change. The noise will always change. It will always be fleeting. Just look at it. Cool. Everything is always going to be available to all of you, inside and outside of isogenics. The freedom in here, the freedom out here, the freedom in your body, all of it. What I want you to do is just close your eyes. You know, it's so funny, and you really got to close your eyes. Knowing I was doing this piece, this quote popped up on Instagram 6 times in the last fortnight. There is a voice inside of you that whispers all day long. I feel that this is right for me. I know that this is wrong. No teacher, preacher, parent, friend, or wise man can decide what's right for you. Just listen to the voice that speaks inside. So I just want you to think about now, what if it was physically impossible for you to compare? Close your eyes. What if it was physically impossible for you to be overwhelmed? What would your life look like if you became best buddies with your voice? What would be different?